Jake Skin from the Boxed In podcast, delighted to be joined here by Adam Smith. I mean, wow, the main event, being able to commentate on that and then the kind of history with yourself in GBM. It's what a moment for yourself, really.
Well, it's all about the fighters, and I thought that Shakan Pitters and Brad Ray were exceptional tonight. I mean, for me, holding a mic is a pleasure, and I'm grateful every single time I pick up the mic and commentate on these amazing warriors. I'm so glad to be back in it and back around it. And every week on DAZN, we've had some fantastic fights. But tonight was GBM's night. I thought it was the best night that GBM have put for that sort of 3-4 hour slot on DAZN. I thought Gemma Richardson was really good at the start, all exciting action. She lived up to the crowd and her amateur background. Then we had a good little heavyweight fight, which was the opposition won. It was an away win, which is always good on a GBM show. I mean, I felt for Adrian King, but it was a close fight, and that was heavyweight action. Then we had Sean McComb, who boxed beautifully. I'm a big admirer of Sean. I thought he was robbed blind against Arnold Barboza Jr. I think he's really had a tough time in the last 14 months, but I think he's got good people around him, a great team, and I think that Sean is going to be a very, very difficult guy to beat in the super lightweight division. I'd love to see him in against Pierce O'Leary. That nearly was made, but not quite. But I think the fight that Dave and I were talking about on commentary was Jack Rafferty, and I said I promised Sean that I would message George Warren tomorrow and say, look, I think it's the perfect fight stylistically. I'm not sure whether they'll want to go anywhere near Sean because he's probably a nightmare. But look, Gavin Gwynn stopped him, and he did lose on paper to Arnold Barboza Jr. So, Jack Rafferty or a Pierce O'Leary should want to fight Sean McComb, but Izzy might have a difficult job matching him. But I thought he was great. I thought Gradis Kraus was electric. I love the ring walk. Gianna, his 3-year-old, fantastic. The moves, the confidence, and the father-daughter relationship. And then he went in and lit the place up again, like he's done 7 times in a row now. All quick wins. I mean, what can you read into it? He's one of the most exciting prospects around. He's Dutch, which is different. He's got a dad that's been sort of steeped in combat sport history. He's got Peter Fury, one of the greatest sort of boxing people our side of the pond. So, let's see what Gradis can do. I'd love to have him fight in Holland. I'd love to take a GBM show out there, and I'd love to see him challenge for a title maybe next year. I know they were looking at the European title fight tonight, thinking, how far away is he? So they want to fast track him. They were mentioning the names of Lyndon Arthur, Dan Aziz, Craig Richards. They're not hanging around with Gradis. How good is he? I mean, I've heard good things in sparring. I've heard many excellent reports from other fighters. You don't know until he gets into a real battle, but at the moment he's just blowing everyone away. So, the TikTok hits are going to be huge with his daughter on that ring walk, and I mean, he's arguably the best-looking guy in boxing, isn't he? I mean, he's got everything. I mean, we're all a bit jealous, aren't we? 23, and he's obviously going places.
I spoke to Izzy for the press conference. He said that he believed this was going to be one of the best top-of-the-bill fights. And I think it certainly has delivered. Would you say, out of kind of all the GBM fights you've covered, you've done, this was the best main event? Yeah,
I got straight into the ring afterwards and said to Izzy, that was the best we've had. I thought it was for a coveted title, for a European title, but to see 2 guys who are honest, decent, hard-working, talented professionals. They're not world champions, but they're very, very good. And they put on an absolute humdinger of a fight. There wasn't a moment pause. There was no respite. There were punches landed here, there, and everywhere. Brad Ray had the first few rounds. Then Shakan Pitters came back at him, and then there was a second win from Brad Ray. I thought the round where he boxed without a gum shield and the nose was all over the place just showed the spirit of Ray. But honestly, both of them cover themselves in glory. It was razor tight. I thought the right guy got it, but I'd have had no arguments if it went the other way. And I thought it was a fantastic advert for boxing, a brilliant main event for DAZN, another great fight for DAZN. It's just every week we're getting treated. I said a few months ago to the DAZN guys, I said, I think 2025 could be the best year domestically in boxing, especially with Frank joining, and it's been phenomenal. Some of the matches, You're taking what Turkey Al Sheikh's done sort of worldwide and here. The Knights of Gbm'S, are we going to get the rematch September? There's so much I'm hearing is being talked about. We're over in Saudi for Moses Atalma and Dillian White. Obviously, in 3 weeks' time today, we're at Wembley for Usyk Dubois, the biggest fight of the year. We know that Crawford and Canelo has been made for September. I mean, it just doesn't stop, and it's just a privilege to be part of it. When you get a fight like that, where neither fighter deserved to lose, they gave it their all, and there was huge respect afterwards. It's just a perfect advert for why boxing is so special and why we all love it, and why I always bang on about it. We're always, always in awe of the fighters. The fighters make this sport. None of us would be here. We're fans. None of us would be here without the gladiators that do that at every level, whether they're the journeymen, whether they're the prospects, whether they're European title fights, whether they're fighting for a world title. It doesn't matter. They get in there and they put their careers, their lives, their reputation on the line for our entertainment, to earn money, to look after their families. I just think it's an unbelievable sport, and it's a sport that I know I'll never get out of. It's just fabulous. And those fighters tonight, all of them, deserve incredible respect, but particularly Brad Ray and Shaq Peters. And most of all, for the smiles afterwards, that they can go and have a drink and a pizza and a laugh about it after smashing each other up for 36 minutes. It's extraordinary sport, isn't it?
It certainly is an extraordinary sport, and one that I'm very privileged to be involved in. Finally, just speaking on September, I spoke to Gladys Krause and Huey Fury. They have both said they're out in September. In my interview with Izzy Azif, he said September's the plan. You said there, September, Eubank, Ben, 2 potentially, and then Crawford, Canelo. Did you ever think when GBM contacted you to kind of get involved that, yeah, you'd potentially be sandwiched between those two?
I think it's fantastic what GBM have done in 3 years. I met Izzy when I still was pretty ill, recovering from cancer, and he said, I'd love you to pop to one of my shows, and we talked about maybe I'll do a little bit on the mic, and that's how it started. That was 16 months ago. Mitch Costello has been right by Izzy throughout. They've got a great little team. It's lean, but it's very, very good. I'm proud of what they've done. I think it's fantastic that GBM are on DAZN. Yeah, they're not, or we're not Matchroom or Queensbury, but I think that Frank and George and Eddie all look at Izzy and they're really impressed about what he's done. The shows look great. Fantastic entertainment for the DAZN audience, which is the key, and everyone loved it in here tonight. I mean, we were not meant to be in Hull, but we ended up here. It was an amazing night. Fans went home happy. I think if you watched it live on DAZN, the home of boxing, you've got this from Hull, you've then got Jake Paul through the night, and then it all starts off in July. I think July could be the best month this year for boxing, and we haven't even got there yet. And the voice of boxing and Andy Levada, the two of us have got to go home because we're back on the road probably tomorrow. It's non-stop, this sport. So yeah, we're going to say goodnight. I think it's nearly midnight. Come on, we've got to go. And listen, I'll see you soon. All right.
Adam Smith, thanks very much for your time.